Groovy.
Hello and welcome to Horror After Midnight. I am your guest, the one and only Saw Guy, and I am joined today by Slinky Jallo and KC. What's going on, guys?
What up, man?
Not too much, man. I can't wait to get into Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my God!
I know. I'm so pumped up. I'm glad that you guys let me do this intro here because I'm just like, I'm double fisting this shit today.
He's double pumping it. He's double pumping it.
Oh shit, man! What are we talking about today, y'all?
But the OG Nightmare on Elm Street, man, the one and only.
Ooh,
Nightmare on Elm
yes.
Street, you know.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Where does one start? I guess. Oh, at the numbers. That's. Let's see. I try to be all slick about it. Let's see. All right, Nightmare on Elm Street is a 1984 American supernatural slasher film. Written and directed by the awesome Wes Craven, rest in peace, and produced by Robert Shea. It's the first installment of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, starring Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon. Love John Saxon. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. And everybody knows this is Johnny Depp's first movie. That's Glenn. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Production company, New Line. Distributed by New Line Cinema. New Line Pictures. It was released November 9th, 1984 in the U.S. Had a $1.1 million budget. And the box office, it pulled in $57 million. So it's another... Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? They released this a week after Halloween. So that tells you that fucking people would still dig on Halloween after it's over.
Oh yeah.
But it's crazy, man, how they built this whole thing up. I mean, Wes Craven was fucking crazy. And they still talk about Nightmare on Elm Street was the house that Freddy built for New Line Cinema.
I was going to say that because I think New Line Pictures was a distribution company.
Yeah.
At first for years. And then Robert Shea was like, I want a boogeyman to compete with fucking Jason, because Jason was killing it literally. And then, so it's like, well, you need somebody to contend with, because Nightmare on Elm Street falls after the slasher cycle proper, because the slasher cycle officially goes to 83, but then you got this beast that came out of left field. And like, dude, this movie messed people up when it came out.
Oh, yeah, it was fucking scary. It still is to this day when you think about it. Like, someone coming after you in your fucking sleep.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
when are you at your most vulnerable? When you're fucking sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. First impressions? What do you guys think?
Well, it's just an awesome movie. I mean, there's not really nothing bad to say about it. Really cool-ass death scenes, a lot of blood. Great acting, fucking Robert Englund. He just kills it. Like you said, literally kills it.
Literally, yeah.
He's a great actor. I don't really think they could do, or anybody else could have done a better job. I mean, he's a great actor. And the whole storyline, everything about the whole movie was great. At the end, kind of throws you off a little bit at first, but still a great movie.
Yeah.
It's I kind of call it like it's a complete horror movie, because it checks off all these boxes and things. And somewhere along the line during the slasher cycle, it got turned into, well, these are lessons for the kids. These are like cautionary tales. I don't get that from a lot of the fucking slasher flicks, man, but I get it from this movie. I guess it officially has a morality play in it, because Rod and Tina.
Rod and Tina.
And poor Glenn, because Glenn's so horny, and then he just hears them up there doing their thing, and
oh my God,
But
it's a great fucking film, dude. I mean, everything from the story, the acting, it's made some of the greatest memes out there. I mean, especially now with the recent Johnny Depp stuff, where they're like, "Oh, that's not the worst thing that Johnny Depp's been through in his bed," and they show
exactly.
But it's so funny because this actually helped jumpstart Johnny's career. This helped boost it up Wes Craven's career, because at the time I think he did Swamp Thing, He did, what was it, The Last House on the Left?
Yeah, him
And they were
going.
cult favorites, you know. But I mean, he never did anything on the spectrum that was just knocked out of the park with you know, Nightmare on Elm Street. And as far as Robert Englund, like, which other tiny weird little guy could actually play that role very well? You know, I mean,
Anybody could, man. Like he owns it. Like
yeah, I mean,
right from
he's like a
fucking
five.
Jump Street. Ah, see what I did there?
21 Jump Street.
But like
Oh my god.
right off the bat, even in the beginning, man, like just the beginning is terrifying. When the movie starts, you see this guy in a boiler room or some industrial area.
Mm-hmm.
What's he making? What the fuck's he building? Holy shit! And then he turns, and you see what it is. It's a glove of finger knives on it, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
And then the music kicks in, bam, 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 like it's fucking nuts. But
they did everything right with this, man. I mean, $1 million doesn't seem much how it is, but if you go back and count it for inflation and shit, that was probably like $10 million for back in its time.
yeah.
And you know, there's also some other little quirks in there too. Like Bob Shea, he was really close to his sister, and he got Lynn Shea to play in this, and that's how she jump started her, you know, her career because she was the teacher.
She's in the Insidious movies.
Yeah,
Lynn Shea.
and she was basically in every like New Line Cinema in some cameo role or whatever, and that was all because of her brother. And the way they did this film, they made it seem like it was going to be a one and done. But this is one of those films that had to go neck and neck with Friday the 13th because of the fact of like, oh shit, we didn't think it would sell this well and be this good. Let's pump out another sequel. And they were the ones that also jumped on the bandwagon of like, okay, we released this one, but we already greenlight for the next sequel.
Oh yeah.
And they started pumping that shit out. You know, later on in the sequels, they get a little bit convoluted, but the one that really stands out the most is obviously going to be the original. And it's just, you can't fuck with it. Just the way the premises is, the story, the acting on it, the fact that they got fucking the legend John Saxon in there. I thought he was going to fucking do some kung fu moves and shit on Freddy Krueger, but he didn't.
It's like, oh man, that's awesome because he was in Black Christmas, he was in Enter the Dragon. Right?
Oh god,
he's in what they consider the very first Giallo film, the girl who knew too much. Saxon's in that movie, so it's like he's not a schlub, man. Like he's got chops.
Yeah.
And to get him, he's not a lead, but still to get him in that movie, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah, I love John Saxon. But it's like, again, what you were saying, it's got, for what I said before, a complete fit. It's got backstory. It's got lore. The music's terrifying. That rhyme that Freddie has, where it's just, and the thing that really, to me, what's most unsettling about that film when you watch it, you start to not be able to tell whether they're dreaming or if it's the real world. And that's fucking scary, man. Like, that's scary. Like, just the idea, if this guy kills you in your sleep, you die in real life. That's terrifying. Like, that's, holy shit. And then you find out, like, the backstory, how he used to be a child killer, or a slasher.
Or he was a child molester.
Or either one.
They let your ideas run wild on it.
Tell
That's
you
what makes
just
it even
enough
scarier.
to get you, and then you find out, okay, well, he went to jail, got off on a technicality, and the parents were like, "Fuck this guy," and you're just like, "Holy shit!" So he's a little perturbed at the moment.
They fucking cooked him.
So exactly, they burned him alive. They burned him alive. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got that newspaper right there from 1980.
Right there. I love these things, dude. I love them. But like, yeah. So it's like you thought you fucking, thwarted evil and did the parental duty, and no, you just made shit way worse because before he didn't have a reason other than just, I'm a sicko. Now he has a fucking reason. Now he's gonna come at all the fucking Elm Street kids, and it's just like, it's nuts. It's fucking crazy.
Going after everybody in Springwood.
Oh man.
Basically, like, you killed me, and I'm gonna kill all your kids.
Yeah.
And it's again with the sleep thing. They fall asleep in class. Like they fall asleep. You can fall asleep anywhere. I've fallen asleep standing up. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
it's a fucking kitchen line.
If you stay up long enough, you can dream while awake. So that's even more scary with the whole thing with him being able to come into your dreams.
It's terrifying, man. It's really fucking terrifying. So terrifying that the Library of Congress inducted it into the National Film Registry. That's fucking cool.
That's how you know it's truly fucking iconic, when they actually restore it for what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest. There's films that are just made because they're bored and stuff like that. But I mean, for the Library of Congress to accept a film into their registry, that's big shit.
Huge.
Yeah, you know, because it means it's culturally significant. So, there you go.
You think about too, like how much Nightmare on Elm Street has changed everything. Because you think about it, Texas Chainsaw came out, Jason came out, or Friday the 13th, and they didn't really have a character yet. They had Jason, but they didn't really show much of him until the third one. By the third one, I think they were already on the fourth one when Nightmare on Elm Street was being worked on and they released it. But it was just the fact that like it became a cultural icon. When you start seeing Freddy Krueger on fucking like knockoffs on The Simpsons, and you see it on like kids
Scary
TV shows.
Terry, you know,
fucking Rick and Morty, you know, I'm Scary Terry, bitch. You know, I don't have knives for fingers. I have swords for fingers to avoid losses.
I have Scary Terry pop. I love Scary Terry. Dude.
Oh my god.
Wear my pants, bitch. Like,
oh no, I'm late for class, bitch.
Oh god. And like it's funny because like, you know, that reference and shit, nobody needs to explain where the reference is from.
No.
Like people they get it. Like,
yeah.
It's
that's the main thing that made fucking Freddy so cool. The fact that like they merchandised the fuck out of him. He was the first one that really got merchandised as far as like a horror icon. The Freddy dolls.
They fucking. I remember my first Freddy glove. My first Freddy glove I got when I was a little kid, man. Yeah, I went to Spencer's in the mall and my mom got it because I did all kinds of stupid chores, man. I busted my ass that week and got that fucking glove. So,
oh my god! And see, kids, this is how it was in the '80s, man. When you see this shit, it was huge. You fucking fell in love with it. Well, hey, horror brought the family together, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah. So, when did you guys first see it? Like, you know, at the impressionable age.
Oh, that's hard to really remember. It was in the 80s, maybe early 90s.
Yeah.
I might have been, I don't know. I know I saw part 3 in like 91, so probably right after that. I can't really remember exactly when. It was back a long time ago.
All right. I was scared to death to watch this movie because fucking all the shit when I was a kid. Like, oh my god, the movie's so scary. It's like, oh man, you know. But yeah, I was a kid when I saw this. I forget how young I was. And for some reason, Freddy really lends himself to the schoolyard debate when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Because you and all your friends who like horror movies, you'd sit there and just talk for hours about them out in the playground and shit. And it's like, well, who would win, Freddy or Jason? Like, for some reason, nobody ever came up before that, like in a battle royal where it's like, oh, Michael Myers and for some reason, nobody ever thought about that until Freddy came on the scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I don't know, man, but I remember talking about that way back in the day. So it's.
Oh my god! And see, that's so funny that you bring that up because I mean, it took them years to finally answer that schoolyard question: who the fuck would win? So what? That was 2003. By the time they answered it. Yeah. So that's 83, 93. It took 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
20 years, yeah, to answer that fucking question. But, you know, to answer your question about, you know, when was the first time I saw it? I remember seeing this film all the time as a kid, but I never put 2 and 2 together. Because watching horror films, to me, was like family time. So when I was a kid, I was like, you know, watching horror films at 3, 4 years old. Some of them I understood, some of them I didn't. Some of them scared the fuck out of me that I still won't watch, like Lady in White.
That's a good movie. That's a real good movie.
Milo was like that for me as a kid.
Oh shit! See, and you know what I'm talking about. Like, if Lady in White comes on, I made sure that motherfucker skips a channel or something.
It killed that song for me.
Yeah. Oh, hell no. Oh, no,
Somebody,
no, no, no.
I think a lady went, oh, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
don't get locked
But
in the cloakroom.
oh, God, no. And the fucking kid getting choked out going to the Twilight Zone. Ah!
That movie's crazy. That
Yeah.
movie's really good. It's a really good fucking Halloween movie to watch.
It is. Just don't watch that shit around Saw Guy. But I know, like, I remember seeing it all the time. But when you're a kid and you see the sex scenes, your parents are like, "Cover your eyes." And you're like this, and it's like, wait a minute. And you see what the funny thing is, it didn't show no nudity. It showed graphic. I mean, obviously, it implied the fact that they were having sex and stuff like that with Tina.
But yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, there was no nudity or anything. They showed blood. They showed where it was like a sexual demeanor, where it shows her chest and then it pops open, which was a really great effect. I mean,
all right, yeah. Let's when you watch that flick, right? It's hard to figure out how they did all that for $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Like there's some crazy shit in that movie, man. Just the scene with Rod and Tina after the boning.
Yeah.
Where he's on the floor, but she's on the ceiling and she's getting
dragged.
Yeah.
Yeah, dragged all around her.
Whoa, you never saw anything like that before, man.
Yeah.
And, like you said, with the chest, to see those cuts just appear, it's like, what? Like, yeah, oh man.
They did a fucking great job. And and those guys, they don't get enough credit for it, because this is at a time where they were on a budget and the main guy that was doing everything was Tom Savini. And if you didn't get Tom Savini, you were kind of like shit out of luck. You kind of had to whip up your own, imagination.
It's like that certain standard of fucking, excellence and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
It was him, Rick Baker, and Stan Winston. If you didn't get any of those three guys, you better have somebody that had some good ass imagination on that.
Yeah.
And watching this film as a kid, it didn't really scare me as much, because it was one of those things like for me, I felt at peace because, it was a family film for me. Where it got scary for me, and I actually went back and paid more attention to it, was I think I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I saw Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is supposed to be the original sequel to this film.
Yeah.
Because it's like a movie within a movie, and they made Freddy Krueger like actually a real demon, but they like played off the fact that he was a real demon. They did a movie about it back in the day, blah 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 blah. That scared the fuck out of me, but it got me curious. Like, wait a minute, I remember the original one, and I went back and would watch it like nonstop on repeat, and then I learned to appreciate it for the art. And then you find out like, oh shit, that's the guy from Enter the Dragon. Oh shit, that's Johnny Depp.
Yep.
And then you see the mom, like, damn, the mom was a babe for the 80s, And you see just like random things like that about it, and
well, the mom, she was popular at the time for some fucking show, I think.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the show, but yeah.
She was a huge star in like some TV show. It was like a novella show or a soap opera or something.
Yeah, she had a name at the time.
Yeah.
And Robert Shea is in that movie too, right? Am I thinking of that? No, I'm thinking of Freddy vs. Jason. He's the principal in Freddy vs. Jason. Never mind.
Yeah, he was in Freddy. I didn't think. I was like, wait a minute. No, and yeah, he was in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of iconic scenes in this film, and it was so great that it turned into a whole wide world thing of culture. When you break down this movie, the impact that it had, and how all the sequels impacted everybody. I mean, you can't talk Halloween, the holiday, not the movie, but you can't talk the season without watching a good Nightmare on Elm Street movie, whether it be this movie or the sequels. And this was because of it,
it just came out swinging, man.
Yeah,
like it did. And what is it? It popped out 6 sequels, which that's no slouch either way.
Yeah,
and it inspired they gave it a TV show.
Yep, Freddy's Nightmares.
Yeah, Freddy's Nightmares, a couple years down the road, and
even had like a music video too, right?
Yeah, DJ Jazzy Jeff. There's a nightmare on my street.
That's right. Even inspired Dokken to write a song for Nightmare 3.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? The music video went lost because I guess MTV lost the original cut of the video, and supposedly they found it because some guy originally saved it on YouTube. So shout out to that guy for saving it. Yeah.
one thing that always scared me about this flick, and it's a real dumb little detail, but it's very true. And he doesn't even say it in this one. He says it in a later one. But if you think about it, every town has an Elm Street.
Oh yeah.
Very true.
Oh god damn it. But yeah, that used to fucking terrify me when I was a kid, man.
Oh shit.
And my mom's name is Nancy Thompson.
Ooh.
I don't know if people thought I was making that up, because I tell people on Facebook, I'm like, yeah, my mom's name is Nancy Thompson. So we used to have fun back in the day. Nancy! Quit
Yeah, she probably would look at you and be like, "What? What are you doing?"
Her head would pop out of the bathroom. You better stop it.
Did she get scared of it too? Be honest.
Sometimes, if I did it in the dark and shit. But like,
When you did it in the dark, she thought you were Freddy Krueger coming in.
that always cracked me up, man. It's like, wow.
Oh my god. She sees this little kid coming in there. Nancy, shut the fuck up.
Running in the hallway.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's funny because my parents' house, they had the same number, 1428.
Oh, that's fucking cool. That's cool.
And the funny thing is, like, I always joke with my mom because when she was remodeling her house, she was like, "I don't want to do a red door." I said, "Why? If you have a red door, it opens it." Well, because she said, if you have,
pull you through this little tiny window.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Like, her idea was, if you paint a door red, you're opening it up to like a different world, kind of like Insidious and shit.
Oh, that's wrong with the Amityville house.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I told her, I said, well, if you want everything to pop, you got to paint it red. Eventually, she painted it red, and you might have seen that house in some of my like episodes and some of my trailer announcements for Your Next. And it's funny because I wanted to use like the door and everything because it really stands out. But I fuck with my family all the time with it because I'm like, man, of course you had to wait and get the fucking number 1428 to match the Elm Street house.
That's too funny, man.
Oh my god, and they laugh all the time about it. Like, no, we didn't do that.
For years, it's 1428.
Yeah. And see, it's a trip, man, because like when I think about it, I'm like, man, dude, like horror's really kept this family together.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a great fucking film. So I mean, the crazy thing is, I guarantee you, there's a lot of people out there that still probably haven't seen the original, like these newer generation kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're watching it, and if you don't know which horror films to start with, you got to start with the original Friday the 13th and start with the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And you'll see what we're talking about.
Standards, man. Always go for the standards.
Yeah. It's the gold standard up here. Like, if you ever want to learn anything about it, you got to watch that one first.
Yeah. And like, listen, I love Friday the 13th. I love it. I love that film. I will defend it tooth and nail. But I will say, this is a better film, like production-wise, camera-wise, shot, like just constructed. It's, and it's still terrifying, man. It holds up, dude.
Oh yeah.
Today, you're just like, that's some fucked up shit, man. Like, there's a couple scenes that are, even to this day, they're mouth dropping. Is the scene in the bedroom?
Yeah.
The part where Nancy's sleeping and Freddy comes out of the wall.
Oh yeah,
man,
that's fucking nuts, man. Again, you've never seen anything like that before. So when they did it, and then the nice little touch is when the cross falls off the wall.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Depp in the bedroom scene.
Yeah.
That's bonkers. You don't see any violence. You don't see any death on screen or anything, but just what they show you is terrifying. Like,
and the music that goes with it, I'm getting chills on my spine thinking about that.
Scary as fuck, man.
And the mom screaming, and then the whole room turning upside down with the freaking blood going up and then pouring to the side. It looked like the fucking video from Slayer's Bloodline. I was like, oh shit! Like, and the way they did that trick, they almost fucking all got killed because it's basically the set inside the room and they have blood on the bottom. So they rolled the fucking bedroom upside down for the blood to come down. Yeah. But they didn't seal the power. So you'll see it that the blood actually went up to the lights and caused sparks and shit. That was real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because in movies, you got to think of
you got to make it little real here and there,
That's bonkers. Yeah. That's bonkers. Yeah. But yeah, those are the scenes. Again, the movie's nuts, man. And one of the reasons I love it so much is all the practical effects. Everything's practical. Like, everything's real in that movie, what you're seeing. Like, you know,
The
they
long arms of Freddy. You know how they did that?
that's another part that scares the fuck out of me, dude. Like when he's chasing Tina and his arms fucking. That's
Yeah.
some scary shit, bro. Like,
You know what's funny? They use fucking fishing poles.
yeah. There's
That was
guys
so
off to
easy.
the side with like a
Yeah.
deep sea fucking fishing. It's nuts. It's nuts. You know. When she's like, "Oh God," and he cuts. Oh, this is God.
This-
You're like, whoa. That's a gut
Yeah.
punch line. That's a gut punch line when he says that. So
Great
yeah,
fun.
dude, I don't know. We can go on for hours about fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, man. Like this
I
movie.
told you, man. I was double fisting this shit today.
He's double barreling. Yeah. And this is
Milk
one of the
that
first
cow.
DVDs I ever bought was Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. When
You know,
DVD players hit the market. Yeah.
when they first started doing horror box sets, I don't know if anybody knows this, but when they first started doing horror box sets, and this is going all the way back to fucking VHS.
Yeah.
They did the first one was Nightmare on Elm Street, which was the VHS, and then I think
some of those.
2 months later they did it as a DVD, where it's basically like it shows Freddy Krueger in the trench coat from Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and I think it was like 8 VHSs.
Yeah, all the spines make up the fucking picture. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, my
That
uncle
one-
had that.
That was one of my favorites, and that was actually the first thing that actually started box sets. Nightmare on Elm Street was the first one. They never did it for Friday the 13th because Paramount and all the rights and all that bullshit. All that
They
stuff
didn't start
came.
those until way later because I think the
Yeah.
first box set I had was from Crystal Lake to Manhattan.
Yeah,
And
and that
I didn't
was
get that until like 2004, I think.
minimum. I think 2004, 2005, and this one came out in 2001, 2002, right after DVD started coming out.
Yeah, that was one of the first box sets I remember seeing. They made
Yeah.
that and the Alien box set, but it was cool because it's like, oh, the pictures make up the picture of Freddy. Oh shit.
Yeah, and they included art book.
Nice
Like
touches.
they set the standard for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, and that's what's pretty cool. I mean, it's just Freddy Krueger became an icon, and
absolutely.
you know, we'll discuss later because I mean, you know, we're doing this on the series where we got to discuss the OG and the remake, and we're gonna save all grievances on the remake in a bit. But I will tell you this:
the remake's gonna be like watching somebody club a fucking seal. Like it's gonna be awful.
Like, stop it! He's already dead. Stop it!
Yeah.
But I will say this: like Robert Englund, there is no other tiny, uglier man to play Freddy Krueger but than that guy. And that's not a knock on Robert Englund. I'm pretty sure he's a cool dude. He's a sweetheart to a lot of fans. Even though you know he's still up there in popularity. I mean, his biggest thing that he's ever done outside of Freddy was he was the alien on V, the TV show. I mean, come on. Yeah,
he's a great actor.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's classically trained. Like that's the thing. Like, he's an actor's actor.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he could have developed the character the way he did if he wasn't classically trained. I think anybody else in that position, they would have just cocked it up. Remake.
No,
because I like Jackie Earl Haley, man. Don't even get me started. I like that guy. You know,
well,
but just
you know, there is something that ties in the original and the remake. I don't know if you guys know this. Johnny Depp got in because of Jackie Earl Haley. They were best friends. And the story goes, Jackie Earl Haley tried out for it. Wes Craven was asking the headshot of his best friend, Johnny Depp. And Wes Craven's daughter's like, Daddy, you should hire this guy. He's cute. He's hot. So Johnny Depp got the part. Jackie Earl Haley didn't. And that's what ended their friendship. And, you know, like 20-something years later, it comes full circle because Jackie Earl Haley ended up playing Freddy Krueger. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And I was waiting for a Johnny Depp cameo, but that never happened.
Yeah. I thought that'd be cool to see him in there. And I was surprised he didn't pop in. But go watch it, man. Seriously. If you haven't seen it, Jesus Christ. Do yourself a disservice.
Yeah. And remember, no running in the hallway.
No running in the hallway.
First time it tends to get a little messy.
Oh shit! I always had a thing for the
whores that live in this house. That's
so many Freddy one-liners, man. It was fucking great in this film.
Yeah,
but go watch it.
It's bonkers, man. Like again, it's You're All My Children. Well, that's part 2. It's gonna be fucking going because
he has
part 3
so
has
many
some great ones too. But
Nightmare 3. That movie's they go into his origin, shit like that. Plus,
Yeah.
it's got some really good kills. That's another thing, man. The kills are really creative in Nightmare on Elm Street. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Oh yeah, I love that one scene where it's like the bed and the blood's like in like almost like a, it's almost like a funnel thing in like a circle. How it's like flowing. It's really weird. I don't know how they did it, but
Yeah.
it looks like really cool.
No, it's that movie's crazy. Like that movie is what I consider like it's a definition of a horror film. You know, definitely because you don't know which way's up and shit. When it gets rolling, you're like, oh god. So yeah, but absolutely, go check it out. It gets ass.
Drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, don't.
2, Freddy's coming for you.
That's right. Get your coffee pot out of the closet. Take your no-dos. So.
Fuck it. Let's go watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
Fuck it, man. That's right. Let's get out of this bitch. Let's go watch the remake. Shit. It's like you lost a bet.